Save more on the materials you need to get the job done, inside and out, at Lowe's. Right now, get 10% off in-stock Trex Naturals decking, now available in more styles. Plus, get 15% off select custom entry, interior, and storm doors. Then, we'll deliver it all straight to your job site to help keep your jobs moving. Get the brands pros trust, priced right, and ready when you need them. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Hello, and welcome to Shaded Reality, a podcast where two sisters recap your favorite reality shows. I am Marie, and I'm here with Anne. How are you doing?
Wonderful. How are you?
Wonderful. Good. Good. Just getting ready for a terrible weather holiday weekend.
I
think the forecast...
It's going to be awful.
Yeah, it said it was going to be raw and wet or something like that. It was like a terrible forecast. But yeah, are you guys doing anything?
No, nothing.
Yeah,
nothing
we aren't either.
We might go up Sunday to see everyone at camp if the weather's okay.
Yeah.
But other than that, no. I'm planning on, honestly, I sit here and say, because it's supposed to be so crappy tomorrow, that I'm going to do all the things at my house, catch up on laundry, put laundry away. But then if it's raining, I could be so lazy and just be like,
I know.
We're going to lay around and watch movies and play games all day. I could totally see us doing that. Because
I can be so lazy lately. Yeah.
Same. I have so much laundry to put away. It's disgusting. You should see, like, my bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And we've just been, like, pulling clothes out of laundry baskets, and I hate that. But I also don't have any space, like, to even put our clothes. It's just, it's a mess. And I just keep putting it off, but maybe
weird.
Day.
Not doing a thing. I'm kind of excited about it. I like a nice, relaxing weekend. But sometimes my husband gets then, like, what do you call it? Where he just wants to get out. So then it's everybody's problem. And he's like, why is everyone just laying around? Let's go. And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm good. You go do you. Everyone else is perfectly satisfied to lay around today. Let us lay around for one day. We can't just be lazy. We can. We can 100% just be lazy. Like, let me alone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the only thing sometimes. He will just, like, get a bug up his ass about we can't just let our children sit around, so we have to go do a million things. I'm like, we don't, okay actually. Yeah. All right, so today we are doing In the City, which I liked. I think I'm going to like it. At the end where they showed clips upcoming for the season, it looks like it's going to be good. I need to get used to the characters. There are already some that I don't like. Men in particular. Yeah. Yep. So we'll see how that plays out, but I'm sure our initial, thoughts on them are probably going to play right out, and their red flags are blowing in the wind, and we'll see exactly who they are. So, In the City, Season 1, Episode 1, Welcome to New York. So I think we said it at the end of the last episode where this is a part of the series of shows that have all rolled right into each other. Beverly Hills rolled into Vanderpump Rules, Vanderpump Rules rolled into Summer House, and now Summer House is rolling into In the City. So I'm excited. I was excited about all that. I don't like the title. Welcome to New York is just so generic, has no thought behind it. So I didn't like that. Get it together and name these things something better. We start right with Amanda and Kyle leaving the Hamptons separately. And Kyle said he's gone to the Hamptons since he was in his 20s. He's now 43, and life does not look like he imagined. And he might lose Amanda, and he doesn't know if that's what he wants. I don't think either of them want each other, but they also are both very unwilling to separate, which is very odd.
Like, I think that they don't know what life is without each other, and that's
them. Yeah. Amanda says kind of the same thing. She can't imagine her life without Kyle in it, but she doesn't know that just wanting it to work means, it doesn't mean that it's going to. And we see her in her car, going over the bridge back into the city, and she's going to a hotel. And she says that she's going for a couple days, which I don't know what she thinks that's going to solve. I thought that was odd that it was like days, because later on we find out it was weeks, which makes more sense, because
right.
What would a couple days do?
What would a couple days do?
Yeah. So then we get January 2026 pops up. Andy Cohen is saying, bombshell news, Kyle and Amanda separating, and we see headlines. Some of them are from podcasters and like Instagram posts and stuff. And I'm like, well, now I have a new goal because I want my post to show up on something, one of the Bravo shows.
My gosh.
I would die. I've sent Anne the other day, I was up in the middle of the night because my daughter woke up with a bad dream and wanted me to sit with her till she fell back asleep. So I'm just playing on my phone while she's falling back asleep. And I'm like, oh, there's this new TikTok trend where you put your top 5 horror movies, but it's things in your life, or if people's TikToks are, say it's a workout TikTok, then they'll have stuff about workouts or whatever. So I made one about reality TV. And one of my horror movies was Taylor Frankie Paul putting up a new Instagram story. I don't know. I was in the middle of the night. I thought I was funny. I put up, 5 things. I was following the trend, exactly how everyone else did it. And doesn't fucking Taylor Frankie Paul somehow... She has 6 million followers, and somehow my stupid little trendy TikTok pops up, and she hits like, and it has no other likes. So it had like no likes except for her, and only, 300 views or something at that point. Yeah. I was like, what in the world? I mean, I guess she took it for what it was, which was like a joke or whatever, but I have no intention of any of these people actually seeing or hearing the things we say. I don't want to ever hurt anyone's feelings, make anyone feel like I'm making fun of them. I just...
Right.
I in my head, I'm in a fully different world than them. And in no world did I think my stupid little thing was going to show up on her TikTok.
That she would see it, yeah.
Yeah, so that was funny. But anyway, I would like to get onto a Bravo show. That would be a dream. So then it says February 2026, Amanda and Sierra are on Watch What Happens Live, and Andy asks, so who of the two of you will be the first to start dating, meaning Amanda or Kyle? And Amanda says, me. And then March of 2026, Kyle is on Watch What Happens Live, and Andy asks him, what's your reaction to this West and Amanda rumors? And he's like, oh, I don't take any merit in it. Like, they're just friends or whatever. Same month, West is also on Watch What Happens Live, and Andy's like, what are your thoughts on the rumors about you and Amanda? And he's like, that's a friend. That's just a friend. And we have more pop-ups. This one includes that joint statement that Amanda and Wes put up saying, we're just whatever, exploring our feelings and blah, blah, blah. April 9th, 2026, Kyle's in his apartment and Amanda shows up. She still has a key and everything and walks in, and he even comments, oh, you still have that key. I think if I hadn't been living there for a little bit, which it sounds like they haven't. Yeah. If it's April and this is later. I would knock. I wouldn't use the key. Right?
Yeah.
Like that, 100%. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird. He asked her if she's been eating because she looks skinny. And he says he's just worried about her, and she's like, yeah, I'm worried about me too. So when you watched that last Summer House and there was a lot of like clips from previous seasons, were you surprised to see how Amanda used to look?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she has a problem with her like depression and anxiety. And
did you also notice in the last episode of Summer House when she's standing there at the door talking to Lindsay and she had on that jean jacket and a sports bra, she kept grabbing at her stomach and like
oh really
it.
Oh
yes.
No.
And I was like going to comment on it, and then I was like, no, like that's just something like, but you could almost see like she felt like
uncomfortable,
insecure about something.
Yeah. And I'd imagine because she has shown when her depression is at the worst or her anxiety is at the worst, she gets very skinny. It probably triggers something with eating or lack of or whatever, because now she's also wearing tons and tons of baggy clothes, which is a very clear sign indicator of somebody knowing that they have, you know, an eating disorder thing going on and kind of trying to hide it. And you know, obviously we're not doctors. We have no clue what's happening. And
right.
I understand like mental health affects your physical and everything else. I'm not judging it or just,
no,
they made the comment. So I'm just saying.
No, I mean, that is me to
a
T. Like when I am full on mental health, anxiety, stress, I can't eat. Like I can't.
Yeah.
Like that is literally the last thing that I can think about. And I will lose weight excessively. You know what I mean? Because I just am like in my head and you just don't even think about it.
I also feel like my body even like it revs into high gear when I'm at a high anxiety level and I just burn calories faster or something too. Because I'll lose weight fast more than just, oh, I'm not eating as much. Because weight doesn't come off me that easily. Like I can try not to eat a lot and it's not like I'm losing weight. But if I have a really bad anxiety couple months or whatever, like weight just comes off of me so fast. It's crazy. It's very weird. So they sit down. Kyle seems very unbothered. And I just said, he's a better ex-husband than he was ever a husband.
Yes.
Like,
he seems... same thing.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? Like, they are so much better as friends.
Friends. Yeah.
Than being married.
Yeah. It was very weird because you think there'd be so much. I mean, he eventually cries and there's some emotion there, but it's odd of how together he is, and he's more concerned about her and her mental state than he is about what occurred or the relationship. Yeah. Or himself in any way. It just doesn't seem to bother him much. Amanda says she blames herself for being messy, but she was afraid of losing him forever. And I'm like, yeah, because that makes sense. What?
Right.
She just said a bunch of words because she doesn't know why she was messy. Yeah. And none of it was like, none of it made any sense. And Kyle says he can pinpoint many times in the summer and early fall where she was already not only just 1 foot out, but fully out of their relationship. And we just saw that. We just saw exactly how she treated him, where she would just fully ignore his complete existence. So don't say you were afraid of losing him, because I don't know. That seems... So then she gets loud and upset for being called out, essentially. And she says she was tired and done to an extent, but she gave it her all. So again, she just keeps saying contradictory things. So she's like, I was afraid of losing you. I was tired and done and out. And I gave it everything. And I'm like, those are all different things, Amanda. You can't have been all of those things. And then he says, so even from the time around Thanksgiving, I feel like there was definitely at a minimum an emotional affair. Amanda denies it. She's very mad that her faithfulness is even questioned. and she brings up how he cheated on her and had a one-night stand, and he kissed someone when they were married, which, I mean, if my husband ever cheated on me, every time we fought, I would throw that back in his face.
Yeah.
Like, I know I would. Like, if it got to the point where I didn't have any more argument, I'd be like, and you fucking cheated on me, you know?
Yeah.
So, the fact she brought it up, I mean, you know. But I think, yeah. So, he's like, I don't know why, but this cracked me up so much because she says, and you kissed someone when we were married. And he goes, says who? And she says, there is a video, Kyle. And he goes, okay.
Oh my God. His voice, I don't know why, like, bothers me sometimes. How, like, raspy,
I don't know.
But whiny.
I don't know what my problem is, because I have always found Kyle annoying from literally day one, and you have got to watch the first episode because you need to see drunk Kyle trying to hit on Stassi. Like, it is just, it is beyond. It's so funny, and I haven't liked him since that day, but the way they're editing him, I am loving Kyle. I don't know what my problem is. I am just a Kyle, like, I'm on his side. And I don't know, they're manipulating me and I'm allowing it to happen.
Well, see, and that's what my problem was, because, like, only seeing this episode of Summer House, and now I'm like, I like this guy. Like, what is wrong? You know what I mean?
He's a real dickhead. He has talked terribly to other women in the house. He's had those dinner flip outs. I think Carl mentions it almost every summer. Yeah. I did not think this summer's dinner flip out was a major problem. I feel like Lindsay manipulated all of that and made it happen. But no, there's been other ones where he has just, like, lost his mind because he's so drunk and high on whatever they're doing. But yeah, he's not a great guy. He's a simple man. Like, he just gets drunk to the point of he can't even speak. He passes out, and then he wakes up fresh as a daisy the next day to do it all over again. And then he works his ass off all week, starting businesses, running. Like, I don't know. He's very consistent, but he's not an amazing person. But I'm just being manipulated by the editing, and I just like him right now, and I'm going to run with it. It's a TV show, and I'm treating him like a character, and at the moment I like him. He says he worries about her. He worries about her mental health. She says she appreciates it, but it's not his responsibility. And then, this is when Kyle starts crying, and he goes, I'm just so sad because someone else gets the version of you that I fell in love with. And I'm like, because that's when in the beginning, she was the fun one. She would just come over whenever he called at the end of the night, and she would party with him, and she did all the things. And then as soon as he committed to her, like, immediately that following summer, she turned into whiny Amanda who just wanted to stay in bed and not do anything. Now, granted, he signed up for the good and the bad, so, you know, sometimes she had depression, whatever, and so I get all that, but it's definitely not the Amanda he signed up for. So I thought it's like, yeah, now all of a sudden you're going out to the bars every night because we see it on social media with West, and you're going to baseball games, and you're going to party, and you're going to do all this stuff, and Kyle's like, that's all I wanted from you. Was to go to my DJ gig sometimes. Like, it's not like you weren't invited. You always said I stayed out. Why didn't you just come? It's not like she had anything else going on.
And this isn't going to last either between her and West. You know what I mean?
No. Like, I think they're just dragging it out right now because they're trying to save face. They probably would have broke off naturally if we hadn't found out. So then we rewind back to September of 2025, 7 months earlier. We're at Lindsay's apartment. We hear a baby crying, and then we get to see Gemma for the first time. So they must have either had their parenting stuff set up where it specifically said Gemma couldn't be on social media and the show Summer House, and so Lindsay got around it, or somehow she renegotiated with her ex and now Gemma's allowed to be on, because she's still not on social media. If you look at Lindsay's feed, which it could be a Lindsay decision too, but I was like, if you're showing her on a TV show, I'd imagine she always has the back of her head and everything on social media. So anyway, this is the first time the audience gets to see Gemma at all.
And Lindsay's apartment?
Huge. I don't know how she's doing it. She's a major influencer. So she used to be a PR person, and then she started her own PR company, and then she has since turned herself into an online influencer and sells shit, advertises stuff. Yeah. I don't know how that seems crazy.
For a New York apartment?
Yeah.
It was massive. Yeah.
Yeah. Lindsay said she cloned herself with Gemma. She's feeding her as Gemma's sitting in a high chair, and Gemma seems like upset, and she goes, "Are you stress eating?" She says that to a fucking baby. And then we see her on the couch on her, in her first interview, and she says she hasn't had sex in 9 months. She used to shoot rainbows and butterflies out of her vagina, and she would have had sex as soon as she got the all clear, but she was broken up with. And then Liz, the nanny, shows up, and Gemma seems to be in love with her. She got so excited when she showed up. I was like, oh, I'm happy that she has such a good nanny. Then we see Lindsay's best friend, Yvonne. They've been best friends for 13 years. And Yvonne is talking about how the minute her ex broke up with her, Lindsay went over to her house, got drunk, and forgot her breast pump. So Yvonne had to milk her by hand. And I'm like, I don't know if I would have done that with my best friend. I mean, if asked, I would have, but I don't think I would have, just reached out and started milking her. So yeah, I guess they were milking her into a bowl, which is just such a crazy visual. Yeah, it is weird. So then we see Georgina. She's a mom friend that Lindsay met, I believe, after she had Gemma. Her life is a disaster. I love Georgina. So far, Georgina is my favorite character, I think.
Wait, is she the dermatologist?
Yes. She is insane. She said she had a toddler, a dog, a broken ankle, and was in the cold of New York City. Her ex left her, and she went a little cuckoo. So I hope we get to hear more about that. And they're all just this, tight clique, of three. They said they don't want to rely on men, because clearly they can't. And then Amanda and Lindsay are shopping at a grocery store, and Amanda asks if Gemma has ever eaten from the food pouches, the baby food pouches. Yeah. And Lindsay's like, oh no, maybe we need to try those. And Amanda's like, oh my God, my dogs love them. And they show her dog's eating it. And then it's the meat ones, which I've never given my kids that. Yeah, which I could see Yeah, I could see the dogs eating that, but not a baby.
Actually, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Never would have thought to do that, to give that to a dog. A
little snack
dog or whatever.
Yeah.
Pocket dog.
I know what you meant.
Dog.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said pocket dog.
Pocket dog. But
oh my God.
So yeah, I've obviously given those pouches with fruits and even the cold yogurt ones or whatever to my kids when they were little, but never the meat ones. I never fed my kids meat from a jar either. That stuff smelled, and I had no interest in being a part of that.
I don't think I did either. I don't know. I may have with Jersey.
With Jersey? Because it might have just been normal.
I think it was. Now when I think about that kind of shit, when I actually see people giving their babies that food, I'm just I judge so hardcore. But why are you not pureeing that shit yourself? Because that's what I would do now as a mom.
Now, right.
But before, she was probably eating meat out of a fucking jar.
Yeah. So I didn't even With my oldest, I did a lot of pouches and that kind of stuff, fruits. But I also started, it's called baby-led weaning. And then I did that mostly completely with my second, which was you just give them solid foods, but soft stuff, avocado, and just kind of cut it into sticks or so they can hold it and let them figure out how to chew. So I didn't do a lot of purees with either of my kids. I tried to do more of that stuff and let them figure it out. Let's see. So they talk a little bit about the day that Amanda left the Hamptons, and she tells Lindsay that she went to a hotel and says they are still going to couples counseling. And their counselor said to them, "You guys hate each other." And I'm like, a counselor says that?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
I was like, maybe that's your sign. Just, you're done. What are you trying to do? But Amanda's also an unreliable narrator, so is that exactly what the counselor said? I don't know if I believe it. And then we go over to Kyle. He says he can't continue to be around. Oh, Amanda's relaying this. She's telling Lindsay that Kyle said to her he can't continue to be around her if they continue to keep being the same. And we see a flashback to them talking in the park. And the way that Kyle tells it, like, is actually saying it in the park, is more of him saying something has to change. That's all he's saying. He's saying we can't keep doing the same things and just coexisting. Something has to change. And Amanda telling Lindsay is changing it and saying, Kyle wants me to move out. That was not said in that conversation because trust, the producers would have put it in there if he said those words. And he didn't. So they're showing Amanda's a liar. And she takes stories and changes them. Because I'm going to say this right now so I don't forget. This is foreshadowing because she uses almost these exact same words when she tells him later in the episode that she wants to move out. She says, we can't keep doing things the same way. So she's having these thoughts and projecting it onto Kyle. So then we move on to Central Park and we meet Andrea and Lexi for the first time on this show. I've met them before on Summer House. Andrea was a cute character. He was a very sweet guy. He had a crush on Paige and he would always get the girls coffee in the morning. And he's the guy who started bringing all the women's suitcases in and taking them up to their rooms and all of that stuff. So that never happened before Andrea came into the house. Now the girls have just said, nope, this is a standard. We leave our suitcases and the men have to take them up. But he's the one who started all of that. He seems like the sweetest guy in the world. I liked him on Summer House because he was one character who brought some sweetness to the show. I'm worried that him and Lexi are just going to be boring on this show. So I don't know how they're going to work out. And they just talk about how he says Lexi's a princess out of a fairy tale. And we see shots from their wedding and they want to always be together. And Lexi says sometimes they're like one person. And I was like, oh, good for you too. Then we see Danielle. She's playing tennis really badly. And I'm like, very badly. It's unbelievable how bad she's playing. I feel like it's put on how bad she's playing. Like she's almost purposely missing the ball. I don't know. It seemed very bad. And then we find out the guy who was coaching her is actually her boyfriend. I think it's On. They met 9 years ago, then life happened, they had other relationships, whatever, and then he slid back into her DMs recently. They're sitting on a bench at the tennis courts, and she's talking about having to, wanting to have a baby within the next year because she's 37. And I don't know if you've seen this, but she is pregnant now. They had, during the premiere, she has a belly. Like, she's pregnant. They've been together for 6 months at this point, and they've been living together for a month. And I think he looks like a shark, or this just popped into my head. He looks like that sloth from, what's the movie that is,
Zootopia?
No. the older one that's about the Ice Age.
Oh.
His eyes are very far apart.
Yeah.
Sid. Is it Sid? Yes. He looks like Sid the Sloth. Or a hammerhead shark. A mix. A hammerhead shark and Sid had a baby. That's what I see when I look it on.
Look at him closer.
She brings up how Lindsay doesn't even know about him, and she hasn't spoken to her in over 4 months. And we get a few clips of their friendship, which they were best friends in the house. Danielle seems confused as to why they aren't friends anymore. And we'll find out more from Lindsay later. But it sounds like Lindsay just ghosted her, and Danielle was never told what happened.
Yeah.
Kyle's meeting up for lunch with Kenny. This is my least favorite character. He is a CEO and venture capitalist. They apparently met about 10 years ago. They say they're very similar guys. I think the only good thing about Kenny is he makes little comments and faces, and you can read his emotions on his face, and he doesn't know how to lie very well, and I don't think he realizes how much the cameras capture yet. So he has already said, like, he's made comments about Kyle's drinking, and he's made little comments about his girlfriend, and like just different things that I'm like, you didn't need to say these things out loud. We only know this because you said it, and it's going to bite him in the ass after this season, which I find hilarious because he's not going to realize how much comes out.
Yeah.
Kenny asks about Loverboy, and Kyle said he had to lay off 5 people just last week. And he had to put his own money down just to keep the lights on. So the only good thing about all of this that has happened is that Loverboy has had a resurgence. So Kyle is like back in the green. Yeah, with Loverboy. And just this week, they did a new launch of his merch. Because for Loverboy, they'll sell merch items, specialty ones. And they have a Carl is a Mess merch. And Sierra is sponsoring it. So they're all pink and stuff. And proceeds go to a charity that Sierra picked out. So she's helping sell the merch so that the money can go to charity. So yeah, that part all worked out for Kyle at least.
Good.
They talk a little bit about his relationship. And Kenny says that Amanda just can't meet Kyle's energy level, which has been true for a long time. And he says, you know, Kyle comes solo to a lot of things. Their last Friendsgiving, Amanda didn't come with him. And it's just constantly when they're out or they're doing things, Kyle's just there by himself because Amanda chooses to stay home.
Yeah.
And then he says how great Whitney is, which is his girlfriend. They've been unofficially dating for 1 year, officially for 6 months. And I think he says unofficially because he was still sleeping with other people. And we see her out and about walking a dog. And she's like this sweet Midwest girl who just moved to New York City to be with Kenny. I'm sure part of being on the show helped her too, make her decision. Would be my guess.
Yeah.
But I like her. She seems sweet, just naive.
She does seem sweet. Yeah. Very naive.
Apparently she was on a season of The Bachelor, but it didn't last very long. She was out, she said, with like in the first 8 girls or something. He says she's always positive, always sweet, and he says he's worried he might hurt her. And I just say, run, Whitney, run. Because if you're
hurt her.
Yeah.
He can't be a like man that has somebody in his life. Like he is one of those people that wants to be single for the rest of their life. Like he thinks he wants to settle down, but he does not.
No. And he does like her, and she's easy and not a fight or whatever. So he's, well, I might as well do this. But another fun girl is going to come along, and he's not going to be able to say no to that kind of thing, you know? So then we're in the West Village. They love to put up what parts of the city they're in, but I don't have a map of the city in my head, so I have no clue.
I love it though.
Where,
I love knowing, and you know, because Jersey and I are taking a trip to New York City.
Oh, nice.
Here in a couple weeks, just her and I are going to go for the day.
Yeah.
And those are the areas, like, you know, when you go there over Christmas, like you do something completely different. Like I want to do like Soho and like just, I don't know, like go to a museum, do the different things. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So they're at a bar called the Garret, and Kenny, Andrea, Lindsay, Lindsay's walking up to the bar. Kenny and Andrea are already in there. Gavin is another friend that's sitting at the bar. And then Kenny is sitting on the couch with Whitney in one of their first interview scenes together, and he's saying how he used to have access to the security cameras in the Garret, and he would see if it looked like it was a good vibe, and then he would go over, and Whitney's like, you can't say that. It's creepy. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, she's not wrong. Yeah. Georgina's there. Pretty much every cast member, I think, is all supposed to show up there. But we see Kyle and Amanda walking. I think they came out of the subway, possibly. They say that they had just gotten back from their therapist, and they're moving backwards instead of forward. She's yelling at him about doing a DJ gig just the night before that went until 2 a.m., and he didn't get home until 4. And she's very upset. She says she's hot and sweating and just needs to go. And he just looks at her and he goes, well, you're wearing a raincoat in summer. She yells, it's not a raincoat.
It was not cute. What she was wearing was not flattering.
Her fashion has always been so weird. Did you see the flashback, which you wouldn't have understood, where it looked like she was in pajamas? Was that at this point? So I don't remember. There's this famous flashback where they're all in the kitchen from a couple seasons ago, and she's wearing, it looks like button-down pajamas, like very loose, 3/4 sleeve, like silky kind of pajamas in this very loud pattern of pinks and purples, kind of. It's ugly as shit. But that was like her outfit, and Lindsay walks into the kitchen and she's like, I thought you were going out with us tonight, Amanda. And she's like, I am. And she goes, well, go get dressed. And the rest of the girls start laughing because she's all done up and dressed for the night.
What did Amanda say?
She just started laughing. No, she actually laughed. But we see, there's a flashback in here somewhere because I saw it. That's why I got reminded of it. But funny. So she is just breaking down. She says, I don't know what you want. And she looks miserable. She also looks very unhealthy. Not even the skinniness in her face. It just, the pallor, she looks gray. She just doesn't look good. Her hair looks unhealthy. She's not mentally doing good at all at this point. She says she's not going out. She's not doing it. She's just going home. So they separate, and Kyle heads towards the bar. And Lindsay's talking to Kenny because we flash back to the bar, and she's just asking him questions. She's being Lindsay. And she's asking about his relationship with Whitney, and she's saying very Lindsay things. Oh, she moved here without even the promise of a ring. Oh, this, oh, that. She's not. She's just questioning him. She's being Lindsay, but he doesn't know Lindsay yet. And he's, of course, a man who's going to get offended by anything and everything. And so he is just, he hates her. Yeah. And, let's see. Yeah, he just has no ability to roll with it. And I'm like, he is going to do terribly because he is going to get offended. He's going to say all the wrong things. And I don't understand how sometimes these new people come on the shows without watching. You think you could have watched the history and you would know how Lindsay is. You would know how some of these people who are seasoned act. She knows how to be on a reality show. So she is going to interview the new people so that we as an audience get to know them. Right. Like she's trying to define their relationship for the audience because Lindsay is Mother Hubbard. She runs this show. She is, making him be a part of the show and let the audience know him. And instead of rolling with that and answering the questions and allowing us to get to know him and his relationship, he's turning defensive.
Yep.
So it just makes me not like him. And on the couch in interview, Lindsay is like, I was just asking him questions. And if that makes him feel attacked, that's a him problem. Not a me problem. Yeah. So Kyle shows up the bar. He sits down to talk to Lindsay. We hear that Amanda stayed in a hotel for a couple of weeks, which makes more sense than the days we had originally heard. Danielle shows up to the bar and Lindsay clocks it immediately. She stops listening to Kyle and is just like staring and trying to figure out where Danielle is going. And she says, I gotta go. I love you or something, but I gotta go pee. And she gets up. Lindsay said she's just going to try to avoid her. She isn't going to create space in her life for someone who shits on her. And she grabs her phone and says, let me just pull it up. And the producer, we hear them say, you have it on your phone? And she's like, yeah, I do. And so then we see all the notes. Season 4, Carl and I tried a date, didn't work out. He breaks up with me. 1 week later, Danielle's giving him a hand job in the back of an Uber. Season 7, engagement. Danielle had an absolute diabolical meltdown that Carl and I didn't involve her in the planning of the proposal, which I didn't even know anything about. She says, oh, just flashback, which again, I thought was so funny. I'm like, are you producing this show, Lindsay?
Yeah.
You're just flashback. Show the audience. And then she's pregnant and she's making all of these comments about Lindsay. We see all of that flashed back. And she says, just stop shitting on me, which I think Danielle was just trying to be funny to the audience. Her and Lindsay have also had a very blunt, truthful relationship always. So I don't know. I didn't think it was all that different than it normally is, but I think Lindsay was just in a more sensitive spot than she used to be too. Because if you actually see the flashbacks, Danielle tells her, I kind of gave Carl a hand job in the back of the car. And she goes, oh, I don't care about that. She didn't care in the moment at all. And Danielle came and told her. So now it's bothering her. Yeah. But in the moment, it didn't. And Kyle just says, so Lindsay's like crouched down talking to Kyle. And Danielle comes up behind them and says hi and asks if Lindsay could meet her for coffee or lunch next week. And Lindsay says, can I think about it? I'm a little busy these days. I could never say that to somebody. I just couldn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Kyle just says to Lindsay, I don't get it. It just seems out of nowhere. Danielle is Danielle, and you've been her best friend. She wasn't acting any different that last season than she ever has. And she brings up the hand job, and Kyle says, hand jobs suck anyway. And Lindsay goes, I bet if you had, says, I bet you would take anything right now, any fucking job. And they just both laugh. And then it says Tribeca, and they're at Georgina's dermatology clinic. So Lindsay and Yvonne are picking her up because they're going to go out for a girls' night. And Lindsay's like, just come out in your scrubs. And she's like, oh, no. Haven't you seen it or something? She opens up and she has this whole cabinet of like a casual outfit change and a more like fancy outfit change and a box of full of underwear and bras and makeup, and she does the whole thing. And so she's like, just give me 5 minutes. And she comes out and looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous. And I'm like, you worked all day and now that's what you look like. She's on the couch and tells a story about how she sometimes feels like she has it all. This is Georgina. And then her daughter will walk out, look her right in the eye, and eat dog food. And she's like, it has a lot of protein, so I just let it go. Lindsay is talking. So now they're out. They're at the bar. They text Amanda and let them know where they're sitting and stuff. And Lindsay's talking about how Amanda didn't pay rent for the last 3 years and that Kyle kept a spreadsheet and now charged her. Yeah. None of this made sense because they're married. So wouldn't their finances just be their finances?
You would think. Yeah.
That doesn't even,
I have no idea.
I don't know. I know people do things differently, and I've lived a long time in my relationship with separate expenses, but when I pick something up, I never think, oh, now he owes me that. Right. It's just, oh, I paid it, and what, I don't know. So I thought that was really weird. Yvonne and Nick, she wants to start a family. They got married a year ago, and she was under the assumption that as soon as they got married, they were going to start a family. Like, that was the order of operations. But he has been avoiding talking to her about it. And she tells this story about how she got annoyed with him not paying her any attention, and she just left and went to San Diego. And he didn't even notice that she wasn't there for days. And she says, which there's so much more to this story. They either cut it down or she's terrible at telling stories. But I was like, there's so much more here. And then she just says she showed him some true crime documentaries because if she ever did disappear, he would be the first suspect and he wouldn't even know when she disappeared or whatever. And I was like, what? How did he find out you were gone? Did you eventually text him or say, hey, have you noticed?
For 4 days and you didn't even notice. Yeah,
because they show these weird clips of him like talking to the dog and saying, hey, babe, and like no answer. And I was, when did this happen? It was weird. Amanda gives the great advice to just start trying and trick her husband into a baby. And I was like, you are walking on thin ice, girl, because you're annoying the shit out of me. And then you're doing this shit. We don't trick people into having babies. Like, what is wrong with you? And then Amanda gossips about how Danielle is moving in with a man that is still married. Girl, you are literally still married to this day, and you were having a full-on affair with Wes. So, like, what is wrong with you? Shut your mouth. That ends, and then we're in Chelsea, and Amanda and Kyle are at a bar because they're celebrating their 4-year anniversary. And Kyle thinks that they're in a decent place, he says, heading into this anniversary. And then Amanda says they're celebrating the fact that they made it to 4 years, since many people said they wouldn't even make it to 3. And I was like, oh my God. Amanda says that therapy is actually making her feel worse, and just leaving those sessions and going back home is just too much for her mental health. And just doing their day-to-day, ignoring each other, status quo is too much for her. I'm like, so exactly what you claimed Kyle said.
Yeah.
Like in the park a few days ago. Weird. And she says, I'm going to move out. And says, this isn't permanent. I just want to date again. And at first I thought she meant like just date other people. Right. But then she says she wants to get together, spend time with him. They can go to each other's apartments and do movie night or whatever. And she says she does want it to work out. And I'm like, okay. Kyle says he's trying to be open-minded. And he says, if I agree, and this I did like from her. She interrupts and she's like, no, it's happening. This is my decision. And he tries another way. Yeah. And he says, she's like, no, it's not your blessing. It's nothing. This is happening. This is the decision. Yeah. Which I was like, yes, that is more of what you need to do to set legit boundaries. And then there are 2 men that are kind of at the bar behind them. And for whatever reason, Amanda decides she needs to say hi. Maybe they're being extra close or paying attention to the cameras or something, is my guess. So she asks how they're doing. And then she says, yeah, it's our 4-year wedding anniversary. And Kyle sarcastically is like, and it's been smooth sailing the whole time. No bumps in this road. Which I thought was funny. And then the season trailer plays, and it looks like it's going to be a good season.
Yeah,
so I'm looking forward to it. I am more looking forward, though, to these reunion episodes.
Oh my gosh. I know.
I can't wait. Did you see the clip that they put out where, I don't remember what Amanda says, but Sierra says something back to her.
I did.
Yeah, what was it? He's only dating you to get back at me. Or something. I can't remember the exact quote, but I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be real good. So yeah, thanks for listening. We have new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. We are going to finish up these reunions on Summer House and then do this entire season of In the City. I don't know how many episodes. They usually seem to do around 10. And we will probably get back to the Valley to wrap that season up because, man, that is good too. As soon as these reunions are over, and then we will eventually be rolling into maybe Next Gen NYZ and then Stassi's new show, depending on when things end and when things start. I also talked about it on the last episode, but if you are just jumping in within the city and don't listen to our Summer House episodes, we will probably be putting out a new segment as kind of a bonus called Just a Little Shady, where we will do maybe like a 20-minute, 15-minute quick recap of the shows that we really like or want to talk about, but we don't have time to add a whole new episode or, do a full recap. So look for those. I have no clue when that will drop, but I would like to try to do that probably for at least the last 2 episodes of In the Valley, because not In the Valley, just The Valley, because by the time we get back to it, these 2 episodes with Danny are going to be in the past and everyone's going to be done talking about it. So I would like to get, those out there. But yeah, we're on everything. Shaded Reality Pod. I regularly post on TikTok. You can always DM me on Instagram. We do have a Gmail, shadedrealitypod@gmail.com. And we have a Threads page, so you can always get a hold of us there. Let us know your thoughts. Rate and review us, please. We love a 5-star rating. Thanks for listening. And make sure you download our episodes. That means a lot for us being a tiny little podcast. Every download is a huge help for us to get on the charts and you stay on the charts kind of thing. So thank you. And I hope everyone has a great weekend, a great Thursday. Bye.
Bye.